Oh, I think I'm on the wrong Wi-Fi. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker.News Live with the BFF Keyan.
Definitely don't remember that.
He's like, get on up, get on up. He's just like riding the horse. He's like, get on up, Keyan. It's just kind of dumb because it's just like, do you really have to do that? Like, can you not ride the horse and say get on up when you're riding it?
Well, I think
it kind of sounds like Keyan, like that.
I think we got that part of it. I never played that game, and I don't recall ever hearing
Keyan like
that. I didn't hear that. Like that. You might just be doing a poor impersonation, though.
Probably.
It's possible, but maybe not. Maybe it's spot on.
Maybe it's spot on.
Maybe you know what you're impersonating well.
How was your week?
How was my week? My week was pretty good. I'm very, very sore.
Sore? Why are you sore?
So I did 5 days of vinyasa in a row.
Oh, nice.
Which is
that like guacamole, but
without the
guac.
Yeah, but it's like with hummus instead because it's from yoga people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I ate vinyasa, lots of vinyasa with.
It sounds good. It sounds
delicious. Pita bread.
Sounds really delicious.
It made me sore because it's a tough food.
You eat it with pita chips, or is it more like just straight?
Well, you don't want to do. You don't need to do chip like a chip. You don't need to turn a pita into a chip. That's like kind of a modern thing. You can just do a soft bread with it.
Yeah.
Vinyasa with some normal pita bread. So good.
Yeah,
that's right. How about your week? How was your week?
It was good. It was pretty busy. I started editing the Stacker News Live DVD that we're releasing at TapConf 7. Get your tickets now while you still can. Dude, the first episodes, like Wumbo's been releasing some old clips, throwback clips, but those aren't necessarily the ones that are going to be in there. But man, dude, let's just say the first 100 episodes was really funny, man.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good. Like I was telling Janet today, I was like, man, we were funny. We were funny. It kind of reminds me of Sesame Street, though.
Sesame Street.
It reminds me of Sesame Street. It also reminds me of like a show for autists. It really is a show for autists.
Is there
like at least the first DVD that we come out with, like when people watch it, they're gonna be like, man, that was such a good watch. Like you're gonna be like, man, that was a good episode. But yeah.
Who like Sesame Street.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's good. Plebpoet's gonna make the cover. And we're gonna release the DVD at TapConf.
Do we know how much it's gonna cost?
I don't know yet. I don't know. We need to figure out the cost, but I'm gonna order all this other stuff today, and then I have the first edit done. I need to watch it all the way through, and then go back and make sure everything looks good, and then watch it one more time. But I was cracking up when I was editing it. I was like, that's when I knew it was good. I was like, oh, this is so funny.
You told me you were afraid the first like 50 to 100 episodes wouldn't be that good. Or like wouldn't be that much in there. Did you change your mind after watching?
Well, I realized like a lot of the stuff we just went off the rails. Like there's so much stuff in the beginning that you could see our how do you say that?
Naivete.
You could see that definitely. I think now we're just freaking jaded. We're so jaded, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to get back there.
We need to get back there. I don't think we can. We're so jaded. We're so experienced now and way better looking than we were back then for sure.
Oh, I'm definitely not.
We're way better looking.
I definitely let it go about 200%.
What was I going to say? But it's just, it's good to see like old us back then. There was some things that we definitely got right, some things that we got wrong, but for the most part, I think Wumbo picked some really good stuff.
We dropped the green screen. What about that?
Oh yeah. The green screen, having the green screen back then made the show. You could totally see the show was way better with the green screen, us inside of the thing. Like,
should we bring the green screen back?
I think we should. I think maybe after we hit 200, we should bring back the green screen.
Why did we get rid of it?
Because freaking Pleb Dev stole our green screen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
We should bring it back though.
I like how dumb it is. It's just dumb.
Yeah, it was
full dumb.
It was cool. It was cool having the green screen. We should totally bring it back.
All right.
Anyways, if you've never seen this crazy show before, it's called Stacker News Live. We cover the top 5 stories here on the front page of Bitcoin Stacker.News every week. Like I said, Wumbo's been posting a lot of cool clips, some old ones. There's some throwback ones. I think the most popular one last week was the gold confiscation. Apparently that one, or actually that one was a throwback clip when we talked about gold a long time ago.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't remember that one, but turns out people like hearing
about
about gold. I don't remember hearing about
Yeah,
that
they
one.
went through and found a bunch of old
Gold
stuff around it. Cool.
We're gonna be talking about gold today again, and then what was the other one? I think that's pretty much it. Cool. If you haven't hit subscribe, hit subscribe.
They have a podcast like this for gold, where they cover gold.
I'm sure they do.
Top 5 gold.
Peter Schiff. I think Peter Schiff. If you type in Peter Schiff, he's like the gold guy. But thank you for watching this show for Autos. I appreciate it. Hit subscribe if you're one of those people.
Help us get over 500. We need to get over 500.
I don't think we're ever gonna. I think autists don't subscribe to podcasts.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Maybe they can't find the buttons because they like can't tell the colors apart. I think that's what happens with autism.
I think don't subscribe. That's what you have to tell them. It's something the opposite.
Oh, I see. Autism.
Don't subscribe. We don't want to get popular.
I see.
Because if we get popular, then no one will watch it.
They're sensitive to reverse psychology.
Yeah, so don't subscribe. We don't want to hit 500.
Yeah, we don't. We want to get to 0. So
we actually want you to unsubscribe.
Yeah, if you're subscribed already, look and check.
Look and check. We want you to unsubscribe.
Might be hurting our numbers.
Yeah, we want to go the other way. Because honestly, like I was looking at the old clips, you can tell we didn't care what we said back then, like at all. Now you can see us like care what we say. So if you unsubscribe and unwatch us, then this will help us not care.
Don't share this podcast with your friends.
Yeah, we need to get less popular.
People know
less popular. We'll just start releasing DVDs.
Yeah, that's the way you want to watch this podcast.
We'll just record 100 episodes and release DVDs.
Yeah, it's the best way.
Cool. We're gonna jump into the top 5 stories of the week. The number 5 top story is a PSA from Nicolas. How do you pronounce that last name? Dorier? Dorier?
It could be something like that.
Dorier? You know, like it's a Dorier.
These people, they're from like all over the earth, and they all want to talk differently and use different words and names. I don't know what.
Yeah, it might be a Dorier. I'm gonna go Nicolas Dorier. For those who run a BTCPay server on a VPS, this is from Darthcoin 5 comments, 1,002 cents. September 9th, Bitcoin territory. Read the whole thread, he says. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, I guess BTCPay Server for a number of years now has been telling people how to set up BTCPay Server using, I think, Luna node. And, for only $7 a month, you can host BTCPay Server. BTCPay Server is a non-custodial kind of wrapping service for a Bitcoin node that gives you e-commerce-y like features. Allows you to like present invoices to people that they can pay, and you are, in control of it, fully self-sovereign. Especially if you're like hosting BTCPay Server yourself. But for most of the customers that BTCPay Server has, they were using Luna node, which is like a cloud storage platform that has really good rates. So most of them are on a very cheap instance, $7 per month, which comes with a 20 gigabyte hard drive. And so Nicolas is writing about this because the UTXO set, the unspent transaction output set, has grown so large that even while they have most of their customers use prune nodes, it will be the 20 gigabyte hard drive on that $7 instance will be will run out of storage, and they will basically have to start their BTCPay server from scratch, mostly because he predicts you likely can't recover from running out of storage. Or it will be very difficult. I don't know if he's run simulations of it, but so he's writing this in the context of the op return debate, the knots versus core stuff, filters, non-filters, and saying that because a lot of what's driving the size of the UTXO set are these inscriptions and ordinals and these non-monetary uses of Bitcoin. And they're done in such a way that they create unspent transaction outputs that you cannot prune, that you need to store forever, that we all need to store forever for running a Bitcoin node. And so, yeah, so he says the op return might, relaxing the op return limits might cause these people storing storage in a way where the unprunable transaction outputs, they might reduce that and allow more people to run BTCPay Server on a cheaper node. So otherwise, they have to upgrade to something like a $14. They have to double the cost of running their infrastructure. So he writes about that, and that's like it's a nice example for the community because a lot of the debate is otherwise kind of theoretical and ideological. And so this is like a practical example from someone who is serving real people using Bitcoin on a regular basis and telling us how these decisions affect them. And it's a pretty awesome post for that reason.
Cool. The top comment was from South Korea Lightning. Said Antoine's post is quite interesting too. Responding to Mechanic asking why increasing op return would be useful. Then he quotes it. We got Carter. He said, this is what I've been saying. We need a way to allow people to return data without stuffing it into random fields. Op return at least helps, even if it's more expensive, because it allows people to explicitly say this is data, so you don't grow the UTXO. Cool. Yeah. You got anything else on this?
Not really. I think I said most of what I wanted to say.
The next top story, it's time to build a new grid. This is from Max Webster, September 11th, 8 comments, 10K boost, baby. 12,100 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so this is a post from Max that is about solar. Max is a huge solar bull. Has been working in started a startup career working as one of the first employees of a solar company in Mexico. And I think has stayed a solar bull since then. He cites a number of developments here about the way that solar is becoming cheaper, the storage for solar is becoming cheaper, how we're seeing countries like China really expand their solar generation. And he also pairs that with a lot of the discussion around the need for additional electricity for all of these AI data center stuff that people are doing. Like no one really wanted to talk about this kind of stuff when it was for Bitcoin or altcoin mining. But now that it has it's kind of like sanctioned by Silicon Valley, there's a lot more discussion about data center energy needs and the fact that producing more energy is good.
It's funny how that changed, right?
It changed so fast.
It's so messed up, but I love it though.
So fast. So it's nice as we basically have, at least on the energy side, we have Silicon Valley on our side now. So there'll never be like that green skull thing.
Yeah, because they were full on the other side. They were full on the other side, and now all of a sudden AI, and I mean, it's crazy how that changed.
I wonder if those proof of stake chains even would have emerged if the AI boom had coincided with the cycle when they started working on that stuff.
What do you mean?
Because the proof of stake, they switched, a lot of these chains switched over to proof of stake because of all the energy FUD.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that they did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I wonder if they probably wouldn't have done that. It probably wouldn't even occur to them that's a big deal. They probably would have respected the fact that it's quite expensive and energy intensive to maintain their chains. Anyway, so he writes about solar, the emergence of solar, how solar is growing and incredibly cost effective and is getting deployed especially in China at huge volumes. And he shares some cool graphs. Some of the data in here is pretty crazy. I think for every doubling of solar deployed, it reduces the cost of all future solar deployments by 40%, I think. And so you can just see how the feedback loop is very positive. And then he also describes there's a similar trend for solar energy storage with lithium ion batteries where I think every doubling of solar energy storage that gets deployed, you get like a 20 to 30% reduction in like future deployment costs. So you have these trends that are showing that it's going to get pretty cheap to produce solar energy, and you have lots of demand for solar energy. And so he writes a bit about that, and then that kind of dovetails into ideas about more decentralized grids and how we might see kind of solar take over a grid or become more dominant on a grid. And he has a few ideas about how that might happen. But primarily he sees more like off-grid data centers coming online that are primarily powered by solar and not connected to the grid at all. And so don't really have many requirements in that regard, and getting deployed in places like Texas or other places in the South where they don't have a lot of regulations around off-grid power. And then eventually they end up connecting into the grid and then kind of competing in a way that they win with other energy sources on the grid. And yeah, he kind of lays out his, like, the way he thinks it comes together over time. And I think it's pretty compelling. Like I said in the comments that I've been kind of hesitant to be a solar bull. I've always liked the idea of solar, but I've always been kind of hesitant because I don't know what the end-to-end costs of solar are, or something like wind, because no one really talks about them, because it's all like, this is green energy, it's good. We don't need to talk about anything but the fact that it's good. And that kind of puts me off as a person who is kind of skeptical of the things people say. And so but this makes a pretty compelling case. He doesn't get into end-to-end costs, but he does get into why it's good. And why it's good, not just for, the environment, but also good for freedom. People can generate their own energy, and good for people who like to consume energy because it's cheaper. I'm still not certain what the end-to-end costs are, especially of like batteries, producing lots and lots of batteries. Are those how environmentally good is that relative to pumping a well? I don't know. But
I think short term, I mean, just from the only experience I have with all the mining stuff and solar stuff is just from working with Kardashev for a year, when they were in our accelerator, and all the alpha that they would give me about what was going on in Mexico and Latin America. And I think he hit it right on the nail when he talked about the off-grid stuff. That's exactly what's happening in Mexico and Latin America. There's just so much underutilized energy that's just not being tapped into, and potential deals just there. It's just somebody putting some capital to work. Really, it's all that's standing in the way of that. The other thing, I think long term, I think we got to go to the stars. I mean, I think Elon's going to do it. I think Bezos is going to do it. And I think any other startup that's thinking about doing it off Earth, I think you look at any sci-fi book, everybody talks about that. I think me and Ted always talk about that. That's where we're going to get most of the energy that we need to do the things eventually. And I think that's where hopefully we see that I want to see that at least once in my lifetime. But I do think there's a lot of off-grid stuff, but I do think if you're thinking long-term, I think off Earth is where most of the energy is going to have to come from.
You're going to put like a solar.
I'm not the guy. I don't know how to do that, but I wouldn't dare. I'm not the space kind of guy.
I'm wondering how we're going to import energy back.
I don't know. Somebody needs to figure it out.
Here
you go. We got Ted.
Our atmosphere.
Ted, how do we do it, Ted?
Probably don't.
Oh, hang on. Let me make sure I got the right one.
Okay.
Go for it.
You probably don't, to be honest, just because you've got whatever the diffraction index or whatever the right number is for the atmosphere. It's very difficult to beam energy through the atmosphere. Diffuses very quickly. So I think refract.
So how do we get enough energy from like the moon or from a traveling asteroid or the Luma or whatever?
Well,
like how do we
got a lot of energy, and if you're in space, you get more of it because you're not blocked by the atmosphere. However, the atmosphere does filter out a lot of the harmful bandwidths that you might not normally that might not help you generates more solar in space. And also the place we'd be going is likely away from the sun. So we're actually like getting less sunlight, but in terms of like net energy and resources, obviously it's infinite in space and finite on Earth. So that I agree with you, Carl, that like that's the destination. Um, I would say my personal ethos is that like humans are kind of like a fire or a locust swarm that we just go out and consume and eat everything. So I love solar and wind and all this other stuff. I don't think that sustainability is like a valid or like I don't think it's possible, feasible. Like I don't see any sort of logical reason why that would ever be achieved. But I mean, maybe no one can know how, life kind of evolves in the future. But I think in the end, we're just going to go out and eat every possible energy source we can find.
I think
And,
so too. Yeah.
and that's a good thing because we
Yeah.
like life, and it's going to maybe cause the demise of the universe faster, but it's not really demise because we're experiencing it, right? And so we give things value. They don't have intrinsic value before we observe them, so we might as well go observe the shit out of everything as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be a long time before we consume all the energy in the universe, but yeah.
It's just like anything, like with anything that has enough throughput, you add another. It's like the freeway, the whole thing they say about freeways, like if you add another lane, it's just going to lead to more traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that kind of thought.
What is the rule?
Like, there's a rule to it.
I forget that dude's name. Do you know the name of the rule? I feel like you would be the kind of
Yeah,
person
I've
who
never
knows.
heard that.
Yeah, there's like Javon's paradox, I think is what it is. Yeah. Where it's like the cheaper you make something, the more demand increases. So it's like or the more efficient something becomes, the more people use it, rather than like you get the same usage with a higher level of efficiency, so you have like reduced consumption and like reduced waste. You end up kind of just increasing people's usage of it sort of proportionally. So you end up with the same waste levels, but it's like serving more people.
That's why I think off Earth makes the most sense. It like I don't know how that's to be achieved, but it's in every sci-fi book.
I just don't know if it serves Earthlings if we're getting energy from outside the atmosphere.
Yeah, so there's a really good argument I heard by this guy Isaac Arthur on YouTube, and he's a really good. He's basically would be a sci-fi author, but he just does everything in YouTube format. And he made a really good pitch about industrializing the moon, which is what is the number one economic benefit the moon has. And it's like they don't really have anything if you think about it, but the one thing they do have is a very advantageous energy position to get things in low Earth orbit. So we know how valuable low Earth orbit is. Spy satellites, Starlink, GPS, imaging, kind of the basics. It's a lot cheaper energetically to drop something into that position from the moon or from just a Lagrange point in space than it is to launch it from Earth.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
So that's true for anything kind of, as you go further out the solar system, once you kind of get to the asteroid belt and pushing beyond that, well, then like Jupiter's got its own gravity well. So, and it's, multiple years to get there. So it's probably unlikely that it's going to benefit Earth that much, but I think it sort of intra-solar, I'm sure there'll be stuff we discover, scooping up some helium on Jupiter, getting some hydrocarbons on Titan, getting some water on Ceres, and like that benefit Earth too.
Just run an errand.
We just need to start. Doing it. Cool. Yeah. Good post. Good.
Thank you, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
Space Ted.
Yeah, Ted will be at Startup Day, I should mention. So he's the guy to talk to about space stuff. And he's also building an AI app.
Ask him questions about space.
Cool. The next top story is, do we already have too much? It's from KR. Ask SN territory. 34 comments, 2,122 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, KR is wondering, are we overeating? Are we over-consuming, basically? That's kind of the question. Have we generated so much abundance that we are like poisoning ourselves with our abundance by consuming more than we should be? So Stackers chime in and answer. He lists, it says primarily in terms of information and food is where we seem to have abundance, like very clear abundance right now. Like for instance, I am overweight because I'm over consuming. I have too much abundance of food. And most of us have too much abundance of information. We're spending a lot of time on our devices and probably consuming way more stories and TV shows and stuff like that than we would have in the past. And that neither being overweight or consuming too much media is probably good for you. So maybe we should produce less. Are we producing too much? That's what he's asking.
Yeah, Scoresby had the top comments. Is, at least at this stage of human development, hardship is not hard to come by. I haven't had hardship in my life, but the 2 or 3 serious hardships have resulted in growth and good things in my life. I don't think that overabundance is too much of an issue, really. Most people will have challenges presented to them through the rough edges of life. Got one from Optimus said, abundance of bad food is like abundance of toxic waste in your garden. Scaling by sacrificing quality is easy. The challenge is to scale without making that sacrifice in the face of insatiable greed. We don't have enough of the right stuff. Dahi said, I think we need a complete inversion of reasoning, similar to how I rub most entrepreneurs the wrong way because I'm from a data as a liability camp rather than a data as a new oil or whatever the economist sold you. Any of these stick out to you, Keyan?
Yeah, I think most of them are saying that it's not so much that we have that abundance is bad as much as like having things in abundance that we don't need or don't value. And instead, we want abundance in things that we do maybe need and value highly. And so it's like you're producing abundance in the wrong areas, and we kind of need to shift it over or rebalance into other areas. That's kind of what a lot of the comments end up saying.
Cool. You got anything else on this?
No.
All right. The next top story of the week was gold was used for persistent data storage too. This is from Simple Stacker, September 8th, Bitcoin territory, 32 comments, 11,700 sats. Keyan, what's going on with gold?
Yeah. So this is kind of, and similarly in the context of the Knots core debate, where much of it revolves around arbitrary data storage happening on Bitcoin. But Simple Stacker, I guess, recalled that gold had been used at one point for data storage because it's easy to write in and will maintain its shape so long as it doesn't come in contact with a lot of heat or pressure. Unlike stone, it will like erode. Like there are a lot of materials that don't hold their shape actually as well as gold, even though gold is quite soft. And so I guess in the past, when important things were written, sometimes they were written in gold. And gold was also used as money. And so we were using that thing that was good for money turns out to also be good for data storage, kind of like maybe not good for data storage, but suitable for data storage.
So I know where this is going.
So it's going. So there's reason to believe that when you have money emerge, it also becomes used for data storage. Maybe that's not good, but it seems to be somewhat of a pattern, at least where the money is suitable for data storage. And so we shouldn't, I guess, I think the purpose of the post is like, maybe we shouldn't be surprised that we have this money that we all like using. And then there are other people who want to use the money for data storage.
It's interesting too, because like even like the pharaohs and like all sorts of people at the top who had the vast majority of the gold used it for inscription type of
they were literally inscribing.
They were literally inscribing
stuff in
their own kind of degenerate type of
I am a god.
I am a god type of behavior, killing babies, all sorts of demonic stuff.
I don't know if they inscribed that in gold,
but you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But like they were doing that sort of like kind of like demonic type of behavior and attributing it to on what you're talking about, inscribing
stuff,
yeah. And then interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if like I don't know if it's demonic to
Oh, they
inscribe
were
in gold.
chopping people's.
I
they
know
were chopping people
I
like
know they
the
probably
Aztecs
engaged.
were doing that too. Like they were taking
I know they
gold.
probably. I know yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but
I didn't mean to be graphic, but you know what I'm trying to say.
they're
Like,
kind of independent things. I imagine.
I mean, I'm not saying this is the same thing as going on, obviously, but I mean, I think you know what I'm trying to say. I'm being a little bit more hyperbolic for the podcast,
Yeah.
but obviously, like what I'm trying to say is like that type of behavior also happened on gold in the beginning as well too, and then um, it led to a reckoning of a sort, you could say.
Yeah, I don't know if the reckoning was from them inscribing on gold, but I think it's.
I don't know. I mean, because if you look at history, like there was a reckoning at a certain point, because after a while, the poors and the people that were the slaves kind of got tired of them doing that, and they came for their heads.
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything to do with the inscribing on the gold.
Well, I mean, that's just kind of the spitting on the face, right? Like, it's just kind of.
I see. You see this as like a side effect.
Well, I mean,
you saw. Did
you saw did you see Apocalypto? I mean, you kind of saw the.
I did see that a long time ago.
It's that kind of thing. Like it's just hilarious. I never thought of it that way, but interesting post though, how they correlated the two things.
Yeah.
Interesting.
These are called Apadana. It's an Apadana horde is a specific picture he shows here.
Fascinating.
It had this inscription on it. I think in like that. 3 different languages.
Sometimes things just take care of themselves. That's why I'm always just like, you know.
I think I get it. And
interesting.
It's from ancient Persia. I guess they used it to store a bunch of coins in it. I think from like across a few generations, and like a few different mintings of coins were inside. And I think it was meant as sort of a time capsule, which it ended up serving as. And it's very legible relative to like most of the rocks that I've seen, the stones that I've seen that are inscribed. This seems like highly readable.
Yeah, I think eventually like other people eventually stole all their gold eventually, and they took it for themselves. So yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
It's great stuff, Simple Stacker.
Yeah,
what did the top comments say? Kevin said, "How refreshing to see a post related to the debate that isn't completely stupid." 0x Bitcoin gold can be melted down and reused. Persistent data, not so much. Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, it persisted from I think it was like 500 BC to now, and we had that clear picture of it there. So that it seemed to persist. I get that it can be reused and melted, but
I guess in a sense, Bitcoin, even if it did have that attached, you can still spend it. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Right? Most of it is. There'll be another post I think we discussed this week where they are consolidating a lot of that dust that a lot of those protocols generated.
Cool, great post. That's a thinker. The number one top story of the week is Murch and Chris have a conversation. What is going on here? Question mark. This is from 02855, 51 comments, 2,382 sats. Keyan, is there a debate?
Yeah, I guess Murch and Chris got into a really long Twitter thread, apparently. I haven't read the whole thing.
And Murch? Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
what are they talking about?
They're talking about basically Knots versus Core. And the
who's on the Knots side? Who's on the Core side?
So Chris Guida is on the Knots side. He's a huge pro Knots proponent who spends a lot of time on X debating people about it. And Murch is on the other side defending Core's. Is one of the bigger defendants of Core's position on relaxing the off return limits. And they get into it. I think it seems pretty productive for anyone who could find it and read through it. They seem to be treating each other with respect through most of it. Chris does some things like he thinks that the economic demand for Bitcoin as data storage is 1,000 times greater than any monetary demand, and that will be maintained into the future. And so he thinks it'll price out monetary uses. And then then the other side of that is, well, if there's 1,000x times more demand for arbitrary data storage on Bitcoin than there is monetary uses, then what good are filters going to do? Aren't they going to try isn't 1,000 times more enough economic incentive to create routes to miners, which they have done, to get these things into blocks? And so there's a lot of discussions here that kind of get into the details of the debate, like some of the consolidation we're seeing of some of these BRC20 tokens, which are like an offshoot of inscriptions that try to create some kind of token system that mints tokens using unspent transaction outputs. So you have a bunch of UTXOs that are unspendable. We can't tell that they're unspendable. And yeah, that's kind of, they just kind of get into the weeds a little bit for people who are following it. It is hard to have this debate and I think to discuss it and make any progress on it, because it is so ideological and theoretical, even though we have pretty good data on what the effects of both filters and inscriptions are on chain.
Yeah. Cool. Looks like the top comment was from Murch. He came in. He said the special thing in quotes about runes is that they do exactly what BRC20 was doing, defining minting and transfer tokens, but it does so in op return outputs, which do not get added to the UTXO set in a block space efficient manner. So it's simply better in all dimensions than a BRC20 tokens at what BRC20 tokens supposedly do, without resulting in an incentive to create minuscule abandoned outputs. And it was created by the inventor of Ordnos, which probably makes it even more blessed in some circles. Shrug. What do you think about that, Keyan?
Yeah, I think that is proper analysis. Runes was created by Casey Rodarmer to, I don't know, supersede BRC20 so that we didn't have this UTXO set bloat caused by people degenning on Bitcoin. And that, I think, intentionally uses op return because it's prunable. And yeah, that's a sign that like uses of op return has better effects for the network than not using op return, all else being equal.
We had Simple Stacker come in and says, this is a good conversation. My view is that demand for transactions will surpass demand for arbitrary data if adoption of Bitcoin as a
medium
exchange increases. If no one uses it for medium exchange and it stays a store of value, then there will be little demand for monetary transactions. And most of the demand for block space will come from people storing data. The way I see it, storing data isn't the problem. The blocks are all the same size anyway. The problem is bloating the UTXO set and making a node more costly to run. The point about how the government can also make sure an attack is an interesting one. I don't know enough about the technical details behind Bitcoin, but if there could be a way to prune the UTXO set, even if the outputs are not provably unspendable, that could be a technical solution to this debate. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think you raised those interesting points from the discussion, and I think there are proposals for how to make the UTXO set more manageable, even at large size, like UTXO, and I know also LibBitcoin with Voskull, they don't even have an independent UTXO set. They pretty much index the entire transaction history of the entire chain and make it accessible in a way that you can still validate blocks easily.
It's time to download Blue Wallet and Moon, baby. Let's go back. Let's go back on chain, boys. Let's make a Stacker.News with one confirmation.
Yeah, a 20-minute zap.
20-minute zap.
You gotta wait 20 minutes.
I mean, to be honest, dude. I mean, I downloaded Blue Wallet. I'm ready there, man.
You're ready to go back.
I'm using Moon. I'm using Moon. I'm using
You're
Blue
gonna time
Wallet.
travel. Yeah.
I'm sending it on chain now for my phone.
You're like Doc Holliday.
I mean, I think there's something to be said about that. I don't think Super Stacker is wrong by saying if we want the chain, if we want on chain back, then we got to start using it again. And I like Lightning. I'm gonna keep using Lightning, but I think I'm gonna start sending more on chain transactions.
Yeah, Moon should be booming right now. There's like nothing on Blocks are empty. We have like sub 1 sat per
Time
V
to start
byte.
using Moon. Time to start using Blue Wallet. Let's go, boys. Let's do it. Stackers, if you're listening to this, send at least one on-chain every day.
Show them
It
what you're
starts
made
with
of.
you. It starts with you. I'm serious. For every Lightning transaction you send an on-chain transaction. Let's tip your bartenders, your baristas, $5 on-chain. Just download Blue Wallet.
Do your baristas have on-chain wallets?
It's easy enough to download Blue Wallet and send it to them.
I don't think they would do it if I asked them, like, hey, can you download this app?
I mean, because what else are we gonna do? It's either that or,
I think
you gotta vote with your money.
Other than encouraging people to do more on-chain transactions, that they don't need to do, I think
Go back, boys.
It would just be having more people use Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And
I got Blue Wallet.
It's kind of a related problem, actually, because again, the barista is not gonna download a wallet because they don't give a crap about Bitcoin.
There's my Moon. Got a password on it. There's my Blue Wallet. I downloaded Blue Wallet. Yeah, I downloaded Blue Wallet. Look. See if it loads. Boom. Boom. Blue Wallet.
People love Blue Wallet.
It's time to go back, boys. I even called it Lightning. So I psychologically think I'm using Lightning, but I'm not.
Wait, you've tricked yourself.
I've tricked myself. I called my on-chain wallet Lightning.
You did like a Vulcan mind meld with yourself.
It's on-chain. That's what I called it.
Like changed
Nick,
mind.
look, I called it Lightning. My on-chain wallet.
The only on-chain wallet I use is my Lightning nodes.
There you go.
Vault.
Everybody's like, I don't agree with that. We gotta not use on-chain.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So Nick just disagreed with Carr.
Yeah.
And then Carr behaved on screen like Nick agreed with him. Just in case anyone missed
hey,
that, I want to make
we got to start with ourselves. One on-chain a week. Let's go. Let's make it happen. One on-chain a week. Let's start downloading Blue Wallet. Moon, let's make this happen. Let's get the on-chain back.
You only use what? Oh, okay.
L3.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm only using Tether.
Tether's an L3 maxi.
He's like, I'm only using Tether now.
He's waiting for Carr to have level 3.
He's like, I'm only using Tether.
So is Spark an L3? Is that what custodial is?
I don't know. No comment.
Probably.
What was I going to say?
Custodial might actually be level 3.
All right,
Because you have unilateral
Stackers,
exit.
if you're watching this, send on chains. Let's go. Let's see. Starts with you.
Yeah, I want to see them.
I want to see spikes. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's use the full force of Stacker.News.
Let's get your sister Katie to
Dude,
warm up that.
let's do it. Let's warm up that Blue Wallet. It's just you see Blue Wallet just shoot up in the App Store. It's like, what is going on? Did Taylor Swift did all the Swifties download Blue Wallet because she tweeted it out? That'd be hilarious.
Wait, no, we're gonna get Taylor Swift to tweet this?
Hey man, if we get Travis Kelce to download Blue Wallet first, since an on-chain transaction, he might be. He might be. Somebody send the tweet to Travis Kelce to get him download the Blue Wallet.
I feel like
then we'll get all the Swifties to download a Blue Wallet. We'll take America back that way.
I feel like being with Taylor Swift is a full-time job. I feel like you don't have time to even study Bitcoin.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like you're just kind of like overwhelmed by
I don't know. I feel like she's a pretty independent woman, dude. I feel like you wouldn't even have to check in with her sometimes.
I don't know. Usually people are like independent.
Have you ever dated an independent woman?
All the people that
have you dated an independent woman before?
I think so.
Have you though?
I think so.
When did you date an independent woman?
I think my wife is a pretty independent woman.
Okay. So will you check in with her all the time?
Do I what?
Do you check in with her all the time? Like
not all the time, no.
Okay. So you saying you don't like you saying like she's like Taylor Swift?
But my wife is not Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift has like Taylor Swift is like there's almost like a world figure. She is a world figure. She's basically like Putin, you know? Or Putin that can sing and dance. And has a few platinum records. Right, so like a big important person like that, like being a partner to someone like that is probably exhausting. Even if they're quote unquote.
I feel like you're digging yourself into a hole right now.
I don't think I am. Come at me. A female Putin.
All right, we're gonna move on. Yeah, let's get on. Let's get on with the show. Yeah, so let's jump into AI Bitcoin this week. So this week we had Optimism posted this week in AI, September 1st through the 7th. There's a lot of talk about everything here. I don't know if you saw, he talked more about jobs, but my favorite two posts here, I'm going to show you how long this was.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
do you look at this?
I do look at it. I didn't even read more than a handful of these.
It's really good. I picked out two of them. The first one I wanted to bring up was this one. Is college university still worth it in the era of AI? This is from Stacker. He said, sure, maybe for things like medicine and some other professions. But other than that, in this day and age, with all the ways to learn and white collar workers under threat from AI, is the juice really worth the squeeze for most? He says he doesn't think it's worth going to college. Keyan, I ask you, what do you think?
I mean, if you're going to college, I guess to make money, that would I think change things. If you're going to college to like because you think it's a great way for you to learn more and be better as like a person or at the things that you want to do in life that maybe aren't directly tied to making money, but usually do result in you making money, then I would say you can go to college because you have structured in there. They have built-in mentors, you have built-in peers, you have kind of a path to go to achieve excellence. It's kind of really nice. It's a very convenient way to learn something. That's one of my biggest criticisms about people who are like, college is retarded. Everything's online. It's like, have you tried to get a 4-year university education online? It's very hard. Some people can do it.
Yeah, some people aren't that self-motivated either.
Some people need more structure. I think that we talked about a great post on education a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, where you can broadly put most learners in 3 categories, where some of them don't need much structure, some of them benefit from structure but don't need it, and then other ones who need a lot of structure. And so the people who don't need any structure at all, those are like 5 to 10% of the population. It's a very small percentage of people. So I think depending on what you're studying, depending on who you are, depending on the context and stuff, I think university is still worth it.
I think it's still worth it. I think if you're going after like a regular job like nursing or anything like that, I think it's definitely still worth it. Dentistry.
If you were going to be a programmer, would you go to college?
I don't know. I'm not a programmer, so I don't know. What do you think? You're a programmer.
I would still go to college.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do like IT stuff or like anything in like systems administration or like computer stuff, I would say 100% yes, because maybe you can get all the same information elsewhere, but there's just nothing like a good experienced person who probably has experience in those networks and that industry that's going to be able to point you in the right direction. And then also too, you can always just try it for a couple of years. If you don't like it, then you can leave, right?
Yeah, you can always come back too. So you can go the other way where you don't go to university, see what it's like without it, and then try to come back.
I think the biggest problem with the university stuff is just more like all the lame classes they make you take. Like I think that's kind of what Elon says about college. It's where they make you do the stuff that's really not going to benefit you or your occupation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still good to take some of these stuff, but it's just like you should be a little bit more lenient on it.
Yeah. I think the main idea is that it kind of rounds you out as a person. I think college was like originally conceived when most of the people who were going to college were like very wealthy and kind of didn't need to be concerned about money. They were just kind of trying to become better aristocrats.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so some of the requirements seem to kind of echo that earlier period.
Cool. The other one I thought was really interesting was the art and artificial intelligence. This was another one inside of the AI Bitcoin post that Optimism posted. This one was is it the end of human creativity? This was really interesting. So I read through this one this morning and let me see if I can, I translated. Cool. So it just talks about how like artificial intelligence is going to start seeping into art, and you're going to start seeing it more at some of these different museums, and it's going to be showcased a little bit more. They did talk about one specific piece of art that was sold. I believe they said it was in 2018, which is this one right here. This was from Pierre Fautry. It was called the Edmond de Bellamy. This was an AI-generated portrait in 2018 that got sold almost immediately.
Looks
I think
like
it said, yeah.
crap.
When a work created using artificial intelligence was auctioned at Christie's for the first time, which sold after more than 6 minutes of bidding for 380,000 euros. Shortly after, the same happened with Memories of Transience 2019 by Mario Klingman, which sold at Sotheby's for 46,450 euros. And then it goes on to talk about how artificial intelligence has actually converged in this new kind of creative field. And then they kind of show different like installations that were created with artificial intelligence and how artists are interpreting it and using it in their collections. Really fascinating stuff. Definitely recommend reading. It's a really short read, but it's a good post from, it looks like it's the Madrid Museum of Art. Keyan, what do you think about this kind of stuff?
Well, it looks like the ones that they talked about being sold or maybe bought on like a historical basis. Like I own the, first
first
fine,
one, yeah.
the first fine art painting that was done by AI because it does not look good. But I could see someone wanting to collect that and collect early pieces of art that were like, especially before the LLM stuff. I don't know. I think you can complain about this kind of stuff or say it's destroying art or doesn't have soul or whatever. I bet you could find similar arguments about the switch from like oil paints to acrylic based paints. And all technologies, I think, upset people in a way. And I think art is not defined, I think, by the medium. So if they're using AI, I think they can still produce art, and someone will, if they're good, if they have taste, someone will value it. And yeah, that's what I think.
I would be interested to ask you a question because it popped in my head. Obviously, there's going to be like if you have an artist, like an already famous artist, and then they do like a AI generated type of portrait or something, or incorporated in some way that's a useful tool or whatever, I think obviously it's going to sell. But obviously there's going to be like if you have an artist, like an already famous artist, and then they do like a AI generated type of portrait or something, or incorporated in some way that's a useful tool or whatever, I think obviously it's going to sell. All it did was produce art, and then the person who's the artist then uses that to create the art. Not saying that he's using ChatGPT 4 or OpenAI. Maybe he makes his own version of that or whatever. But is that possible to do?
Yeah, I think you could see people doing that. I think there was an early AI company that focused primarily on images. I forget their name. It's been so long because all the LLMs now are like multimodal and can do images and video and stuff along with the LLM stuff. But I think they're called Stable Diffusion. Or maybe that's the technique. I forget exactly. But they were focused specifically on generating images and art. But I think you'll see, lots of specialization. And I think the like terminal state of a lot of this stuff is us creating intelligences to suit our own needs perhaps on like a per need basis, not necessarily a general intelligence, but perhaps very specific ones. That's like kind of the agentize everything kind of view. But I could see that happening just because it's useful to have constrained devices. Like I don't know if I want my pet cat to have an IQ of 220, like I kind of like that it just kind of wants to lay around and purr and get pet. And, maybe I prefer it could use a toilet, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mind went to when I read this. Was like I could see a world where these places have their own sort of like, I don't want to call it a chop shop because that kind of feels a little bit slanderish, but their own sort of creative like LLM of a sort that creates the best works, and then they release it in their own kind of like
where the art is the LLM,
the exhibit.
They
release it with their own exhibit, and then it's like, and then that's just another. Maybe it's with other artists as well, but maybe there's like a certain lane where it's just like it's doing its own thing. So I could see that. kind of like what's similar, like what kind of Spotify and some of these other like music people are doing already with like they're creating their own musical artists and then kind of lumping in with the rest of the. So you can kind of see that like I can see that kind of happening. So
See that.
it would be interesting though to see how that's going to play out though, but because I can see people also getting tired of that or not wanting that too as well.
Yeah, I could see that too.
But yeah, it got me thinking about all sorts of things when I saw this.
Yeah, I just haven't listened to much AI music. I wonder. Maybe I haven't and just didn't know. But I would negatively affect it, I think, if I knew it was like not a human being. It's like, who am I connecting? Who's on the other side of this? Because I kind of feel like when I'm listening to music or art, I'm always thinking about like what's on the other side of this medium.
Yeah, that's why the in-person stuff is far more important these days, I think. At least for me, that I've come to realize like the in-person stuff is, I think it's going to be far more expensive to do in-person stuff than it is going to be to like do the virtual stuff. I think it's just going to go even higher and higher and higher. Like, I think people are under, what do you say? Like, I think people are over on the other side versus this side, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see. The other one I think that's all of them. Yeah, we're gonna jump into Wumbo's picks. Wumbo's picks.
Almost fixed.
Was it Wumbo's picks? Wumbo's picks. This is Wumbo's picks segment. Keyan, this is do not see BTCPay OnChain receive transactions as Bitcoin beginners territory. Picture room, 7 comments, 401 sats. Wumbo's picks. This is one that Wumbo picks every week here on Stacker.News Live. Wumbo does all behind scenes stuff that you see. It's all magic.
It is pretty magical how he does it. Yeah. So this week it's about this post triggered it, which gets to something we call the gap limit problem, which is a problem that you will encounter when you have loaded something that we call that you load an extended public key into a watch only wallet or some other system, and you do not see all your transactions in it. And that's because this XPub allows you to take your seed phrase and extend it into multiple addresses, because in Bitcoin, you do not want to receive to the same address more than once for privacy reasons. So each address is kind of new. It can be a new person, and that's kind of the way it appears on chain, and that's good for your privacy. So we have these things called derivation paths, which are specified in your XPub and allow you, using this specification and in the XPub, to generate an unlimited amount of receiving addresses from just this little piece of information. And the problem that occurs is that a lot of these wallets, they have what is called a gap limit, where if for some of those addresses you have generated in this derivation path, it's like you can imagine you're hiking along a path and there are sandwiches along the path, and let's say you don't eat 20 of those sandwiches. The software assumes that you did not continue on the path, because anyone who went on this path would eat those sandwiches, really. And so it kind of stops and says, this person did not continue hiking on this path. And so it's the same with these addresses. These addresses got generated and they weren't consumed, they weren't used. So a lot of these wallets are like, okay, I don't need to look any further. I don't need to look on chain for any more of these addresses getting consumed. And so you end up, oftentimes you'll like export, you'll have like BTCPay Server, and it'll show all of these transactions, or you look on chain and it'll look like I have more money than this watch only wallet, this blue wallet. Say I load my XPub into blue wallet.
Mm-hmm.
My watch only wallet is not showing all of these transactions that I have. It's showing that I have less money than I do. It's because it had a gap. You had a gap in your derivations of addresses that were unused, and it stopped looking for them. So you usually have to say, oh, you know what? I skipped eating 30 sandwiches on the path, not 20. So you need to actually look 30 sandwiches along the path, and you'll see me continue eating sandwiches later, and then you'll know where I am. It's kind of like that.
Wasn't there? I remember. Wasn't there a wallet? I forget whose wallet it was, but they discovered this like when they were building their wallet, and then I think we talked about it, and it was like
I think Zapprite had their own. Zapprite wrote a blog post about how they solved the gap limit problem. I think even Mutiny might have written a blog post about the gap
about
limit.
and then how like most people don't realize this. Interesting. And I'm sure Unchained has written a lot of posts about this, right?
Yeah, it comes up all the time. I think this was like when I clicked on this link, I was expecting to go to another post where a guy had the exact same problem a few days earlier than this post was written. And Natalia wrote a post about the gap limit problem where I think their BTCPay server showed that they had the money, but then they had a watch only wallet, I think in Blue Wallet, that did not show it. And it was just this rectifying this gap limit problem. Usually it's a configuration setting in your wallet where you can tell it how big a gap you might have. Yeah, and I think there are like optimizations you can do around it if you're a wallet developer.
That's crazy. Like, you would think, and I don't mean crazy. That's just crazy that because most people don't know this, but you would think like we would be working on some of this stuff, like as some of this stuff that that you think would be more important for people that are trying to, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just
this would be a huge UX improvement if someone could make this problem go away. But I think fundamentally you can't really do much because again, the path is infinitely long. Like the path, the possible, you have to, if you're developing a wallet, you have to choose at some point to not look at every possible address that could be generated because there's infinity of them. And so you say, if I come across 20, maybe even 300 addresses that were derived and all of them are empty, they were never used. I don't need to look at infinity addresses because I know it's highly unlikely they have 300 unused addresses.
yeah.
So that's so I'm not sure there's a great.
So is it just set up by the wallet by default, or just depending on what wallet that you're using?
The gap limit itself, yeah. Each wallet has their own limit. I think the default in most wallets is around 20.
Why so low? Just because they don't expect you to receive that many.
Yeah, to get that many invoices or to generate that many invoices that are unpaid, I think. And I think it's not. And these are typically it's usually a result, I think, of a bug in the software that a gap even occurs, because the addresses can just be, if you generate an address, it should be, and it doesn't get paid, it should be used to pay for the next invoice. So if you're like BTCPay server and you go to buy a hat from me on my BTCPay server and you just don't pay the invoice, anyone comes back to buy a hat or a shirt or whatever, I can use the same exact Bitcoin address again. And so on some level, it's like the problem occurs because of like a bug in software. They create the gap when they probably don't need to. In some cases, maybe they do need to. I don't really know. I haven't developed one of these wallets, but so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they've probably. I feel like
a bigger gap though.
I feel like most people just probably moved on from working on Bitcoin on chain at this point. They're just like, we're done with it.
I think there's a lot of people. This is just, I don't think
such a low priority. They're just like, who cares?
Yeah, I think it's just, this is like
such a low priority thing. I think it's a big thing.
It'd be cool if somehow this problem didn't exist, but
yeah, for sure.
I don't think there's. I think it's like fundamental.
No one cares about on-chain anymore, to be honest.
I don't think it's that. Well, you were just talking about on-chain.
I mean, trust me. I'm gonna start using on-chain stuff. This would help me achieve my goal.
Okay, what do you think?
I want to send 300 on-chain transactions a week. This will help me.
300 on-chain. What kind of? Okay,
just $5 on-chain. 300, 500 transactions a week.
All right.
Help me do this.
Well, good luck.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's
great post.
That's the gap limit problem. If you want to read more about the gap limit or any of these things that we cover in Wumbo's picks, which are usually more fundamental Bitcoin things that I'm even not very super familiar with. I would go to
don't like it. Don't subscribe it.
Yeah, don't do that.
LearnMeABitcoin.com.
LearnMeABitcoin.com. LearnMeABitcoin.com has
go.
a lot of great explainers on basically everything.
This is just like this. Learn
Me
a
a Bitcoin.com.
Bitcoin.com.
It's a great website. It's interactive,
Boom.
and it's been up
Oh,
forever.
didn't do it. Is it just www?
No, I think you probably need www.
See if that works. Oh, there you go. There you go.
But you can go, like, if you search for derivation path at the top there.
You can even learn how OnChain still is not complete. Derivation. You can learn how derivation path, how OnChain is not complete, but we rather have inscriptions instead.
I think you said deviration.
Oh, dev.
DERI.
Oh, there it goes. I found it.
There you go.
You can learn how
So this
some of the things that we really need in Bitcoin are just not important.
at the very bottom of this page, they describe the gap limit and kind of in detail. They kind of show how addresses are derived from the XPub and
There you go.
and where it occurs.
You too can learn how this is not as important as inscriptions and ordinals. Just like I did today.
Well, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Wumbo, for picking this one. We're going to jump into Keyan's picks. The first one you have was Nostr Game Engine. Wow, look at that frame rate. What's this one?
Yeah. I don't know about frame rates. I'm not much of a
I
gamer.
don't know. I just said that because it sounded about right.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's
maybe
just
we'll
going
get
back and forth. The
some extra
Skypod.
hits.
Skypod.
Gamers. So Nostr Game Engine is a game engine that RBLB is working on that is sponsored by it's like a patch into an existing game engine for Nostr stuff, and it's sponsored by OpenSats, and he's been doing release notes for like kind of pretty major things that he's adding to the code base. In this case, he adds his Nostr ads protocol. I guess he came up with his own ads protocol, but
Cool.
yeah, the general idea is that it creates a sort of, using Nostr, it creates a sort of marketplace for ads.
Oh, he's using Nostr for ads? He's using Nostr for ads?
Yeah.
Where's that at? Where do I go to look at that?
Where do you want to look at what?
The ads thing.
Oh, the ads thing. It's somewhere in there. There you go. Dedicated posts.
Dedicated
Click on
posts.
that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Advertises, publish bids, Nostr.
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, if you're running a game, you can kind of like look and see if there's anyone who wants to put up an ad, and you can display them in your game and make some money. And so that's kind of, so he wrote his own ad engine for that.
That's
I think
cool.
that he looked at some of the other ones that existed. He didn't really like them very much. He found them to have problems. So he wrote basically his own,
That's
his
awesome.
own protocol for it, and he shows it in the game where as a person who's developing a game using his Nostr Game Engine, you can specify like walls in the game for an ad to get displayed, or other places, probably arbitrary places. Yeah, and I thought that was,
dude.
I thought that was cool. I'm liking these releases. I'm looking forward to playing a Nostrized game at some point in the future.
Yeah, he's building an actual game at some point, right?
I would guess so. I mean, it's building in the engine, but I would guess he would dog food it into a game at some point, at least a simple one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Super cool stuff. I love that he's building it. What was the next one that you got? You got the next one was your wildest drunk. Oh, this is the EK one, right?
Yeah.
What was this one about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
EK, I don't know why, but asked about everyone's wildest drunk story. And so it's just, there's a lot of cool, you learn about kind of a side of people that you wouldn't ordinarily learn about if you read through the comments. But a lot, I mean, like South Korea LN described a time in Austin where they were without a shirt and without shoes walking down 6th Street. Now it got robbed of his
Really?
watch,
Oh,
and
no.
like woke up in the middle of nowhere without and just like walking down a rural street. I described 2 of many wild drunk stories that I had, but there's just a lot of them. I have great, like pretty much most people kind of shared stories like that. And it's fun because it's like this is the side of people. It's like when their inhibitions are at their lowest, and so they are kind of their most lizard like
Most lizard. What does that mean? Most lizard.
kind of like your base, more of your base person without all of the like
You said that.
self-control. that
Carlos
you normally have.
Fandango said, thankfully there were no camera pics back in the day. Am I right? Yeah, dude. Thank God there were no camera phone pics back in the day.
Book guy has had 2 DUIs. One of them he
Sucks.
crashed into a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. I had so many. There's just too many to count. I was in a band, so that was just the things that we did. I could tell you so many, but none for this. None PG for this podcast.
None of them are PG.
None of them are PG.
Were you like
I mean, I was in a band, dude. Like it was like, you know, there are the people that did drugs and there's people that drink, and I was always the people that were drinking. I don't drink anymore. Yeah, I don't drink anymore.
Oh,
I mean, whenever we do, I mean, we'll do it for like startup day or like you know, special occasion.
okay. So
But-
you drink for special occasions.
Yeah, for special occasions.
Okay.
We're gonna go drinking tonight.
Are you?
Yeah,
Are you
with John.
celebrating?
John, we're gonna go get a pint, a proper pint,
Proper pointed
proper
penis.
pint of Guinness. So yeah, that'll be fun. I haven't had a beer since, gosh, when was the last time I had a beer? Since Juan was here. Since Juan Galt was here. That was the last time I had a beer. That was back in like May or April.
Really? That was that long ago?
Yeah, because he left in April, I think, right before the crypto conference. I
Oh,
think that was the last time.
yeah. I don't think he's
Yeah, I
allowed
think
to
that
hang out
was
with
the
us
last
anymore.
time.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I don't think he's allowed to.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not allowed to hang out with us anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Juan. Anyways, that's all your stories. The one I wanted to bring up was, yeah, the sad news this week was from the Charlie Kirk thing. So they actually caught the guy. I don't know if you saw this, Keyan, or if you were paying attention to it. But
Yeah,
they-
I did.
But they whoa, what's all these ads? They popped up. Where are these ads coming from? Yeah, so they just announced that they caught the guy who killed Charlie Kirk this week. I had never even heard of this guy, Charlie Kirk, to be honest, until somebody brought him up in the lab.
I'd seen him around.
I didn't even know he existed. And then somebody was like, no, he's the meme guy. And I was like, oh, that's him. And then that's when I recognized his face. But yeah, really sad story. Left behind a family, kids. Tragic, dude. Just so tragic because like I can imagine like his what's going on with like the family and stuff. And now the kids are gonna grow up without a dad, and like the amount of yeah, I just can't imagine like what that's gonna do to the kids growing up and how that's gonna yeah, it's just sad to see whenever some kind of tragedy happens in a family like that. That's the type of thing that like sticks around for generations. It just doesn't like it just doesn't stop there. It's like generational hurt. That's the tragic thing about it. The only reason I know that is because my grandfather happened similar, something like that, where he got shot.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's a generational thing that'll like stick in the family for years to come.
You mean just as a story, or like your parents were?
That was what my parents would tell me.
I see.
Story, yeah. So
Yeah.
like that's where I'm saying like that's a thing that'll like it's like a story that they'll tell for generations. So I feel sorry for the family and for the kids, and it's just sad, dude. It's so sad.
Really
so
sad.
yeah, so they caught the suspect. The suspect in the killing was identified as Tyler Robinson. He's being held without bail on several charges. He's not talking to investigators, apparently, from what CNN's saying. Apparently, the father became convinced of the 22. He was 22. Was the shooter was after seeing photos shared by authorities, and then that's when they turned him in. The suspect initially balked at surrendering, but then was persuaded to talk to a pastor who works with law enforcement agencies. The sources said. So it was like it was divine intervention there. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel and inscriptions, including one that read, "Hey, fascist, catch," were engraved on the casings found with the rifle. Yeah. So that's basically what happened. That's him right there.
Looks like a normal dude. Normal kid. Sad.
The-
Sad for him too. Whatever got in his mind that made him want to hurt someone.
yeah, I mean, because it's like, he was psyop too as well, like on the other side of whatever he was thinking, and it's too bad that he also fell into some darkness as well too.
Yeah, I don't think,
because they said his dad was a sheriff too as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for the parents too as well. I mean, I'm sure the parents don't feel happy about that,
Hopefully
so-
they collected the prize.
because I don't know if you've ever had a sibling or a family member that's done something horrific, but that's not a reflection on the siblings or the mom or the dad. That's just
Sometimes it just happens.
Sometimes
Sometimes it
it's
is
just-
a reflection of the siblings and the mom and the dad, but sometimes it just happens.
sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just sad to see. It's a good thing that the dad turned him in and Pastor was able to intervene.
Yeah.
So just sad all the way around. The other thing I wanted to bring up was this post by Kepford. I thought this was a really good post from Kepford. He posed the question, is it wrong to be divisive? This was on September 11th. He says, he's divisive. That was in quotations. He said, this is something I have heard about Charlie Kirk. Maybe that's a fair descriptor. I don't know. I was familiar with his work, but I'm not interested in dissecting that at this time. I'm not going to defend or lionize Kirk. What happened to him is disgusting and makes my heart break for his family and our nation. But this comment, he's divisive, got me thinking. I often hear this word used as a way to get people to ignore someone saying things they don't like or agree with, a way to quickly dismiss someone as a troublemaker. Then he goes on to say some things about Christianity and about following Jesus and about how Jesus was divisive as well. So Keyan, I guess I'll ask you this: is it wrong to be divisive?
I don't think it's wrong to be divisive. I think you should, if you're going to be divisive, you should be aware, in touch with the consequences of it. I don't think if I were divisive or anyone's divisive, they should expect to get shot and killed over it. But you should expect people to be upset at you for being divisive. That's kind of like one of the known results of it. Yeah, I don't think him being divisive is like an excuse for violence. It's a lot like when people say, if you didn't want to be raped, you shouldn't have dressed like that. Like dressing like it's kind of a similar thing. Like I don't think someone dressing provocatively justifies someone raping them. Someone being divisive doesn't justify someone committing violence against them. So kind of similar thing. I think it's not wrong to be divisive. It's not wrong to dress the way that you want, but I think in either case, you need to be aware of the consequences and that it attracts a certain type of person who might be violent, and prepare yourself for it. But yeah, that's just like out of your control as a person who wants to be divisive. That's just the context in which you live, the environment.
Yeah, I think I definitely think now is a time to be divisive. I think there was a time when, you probably didn't need to be divisive. I think now is definitely a time to be divisive. I don't think everybody is in a position to be divisive, to be honest. But I do think there is definitely, if you're a young man who is seeing a lot of this kind of like just craziness in the world, and you need to stand up and talk about these things. Like I think even the poor kid that shot the guy, like he should have voiced his opinions. Like, he didn't have to result in killing somebody over when it's never right to kill somebody over anything. That's just the wrong way to go about things. It's like,
Except in self-defense, maybe,
but do you know what I mean? It's like, this is why it's so important to like meet people where they're at and have a conversation about these things. It's just all this could have been avoided. Yeah, I don't think it's wrong to be divisive. I think you should be talking about these things. You should meet people. You should have more conversations about this stuff. I think I do agree with you. I think in history it has taught us, even if you do say something in an eloquent way, and it's really profound, and it's like, and it actually moves people and actually pushes the human race forward, there's a really good chance you are going to piss somebody off, even still, by doing that. And history has proven that to be the truth as well too. Like, you can look at any people in America's past where they also got shot. Like, that is a thing. So it doesn't matter how these words come out or whether you use venom or not. It's still a thing that can happen. And so I think you just got to be aware of the situation of what you're being divisive about. And if you really do feel that kind of call to say something, you should speak up. I think for me personally, I've always spoken up for something that I truly believe in. I won't do that unless I actually believe in the thing that I'm saying, even when other people don't agree with me. But if I feel the call, the need to say something, I will say something. I don't care if I'm the only person that's saying it. But I think it's very important that we don't move away from saying the things that need to be said just because of this. I think if there's anything that comes from this, is to be more divisive. That's what I would say, is to say what needs to be said. But also, if you're that other person on the other side of this divisiveness, go out and meet them halfway and have a conversation with them. Don't respond with anger, or don't respond with
be
hate.
divisive too, but from the other side of the argument. Be divisive back. Don't be violent back.
Exactly. So I thought this was a great post by Kepford.
I actually don't think you need it. I don't think divisiveness is a virtue. So that's one area I would say I would push back. I don't think divisiveness is necessarily a virtue. I think it's a way to communicate that gets a lot of attention, which might have value. But I don't think anyone should aim to divide people, which is kind of fundamentally what divisiveness means, is you are speaking in a way that separates people more than they need to. And so I don't associate that with virtue. I think it might be the truth. It might, like, you might be if you're speaking the truth and it happens to be divisive, I think that's okay. That is, maybe speaking the truth is a virtue. But I think speaking about things in a way that don't need to be divisive, but putting them in a divisive way, I think that isn't a virtue.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's all the stories that we had this week. I think the other stuff we're going to get into is pretty much the zine. Or should we do I guess we should do the grand prize winner.
Oh yeah,
so there was
meta.
two. We're going to get into meta stuff now. So Stacker.News Fiction Month prizes.
So this was given out according to Zap Rank. So the top, I think it was like, for that month, the things in Zap Rank that rank the highest, the top 10 got 10,000 sats zapped to them.
I'm surprised Real Bitcoin Dog is not in the number one there.
Oh, he is though.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, talent show shakeup. It's right there.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. So,
This one.
yeah, I don't. Zap Rank is not really well suited for this type of contest purpose. So I wouldn't take, if anyone is like, my story should be there, it's not there, I would not take this as like a sign of the worth of your story. So
yeah, it looks like everybody was confused about the
Sybil fee.
Yeah, the Sybil fee.
Yeah, the Sybil fee tends to confuse people because they don't understand the need for it. But that was part of the confusion. But I think we had nearly 60 entries, and only 10 of them got into this top area. But I just want to say that. But congrats to everyone who won here. And then we also, the other side of the prize is they gave out
the grand prize winner.
The grand prize winner, which was human judged rather than algorithmically judged, was
this one,
Billy the Ked.
I don't even remember this one, to be honest. Like, I don't even remember even seeing this one at all. I don't even remember seeing this.
Well, that's how you know the judges read all of them.
Yeah.
They went.
No one commented on it.
Yeah, it has multiple parts to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but all the judges like this one the best, and we had 3 judges.
Is this part 2 or?
I think there are references to poems.
Oh, this is part one.
This is continuing. Yeah, part one.
Oh, okay.
And I think they went on and a little bit with it.
I'll check it out. I'll read this at some point. Let me bookmark it.
Yeah. So this one won 100,000 sat prize.
What was this about?
I have still not read this one.
No one read the.
I'm not the judge.
No one read the grand prize story.
No, we have two people here. The judge has read all.
So just Scoresby and Siggy read the grand prize story. Okay.
This one I've bookmarked. I need to get. There's like most of.
There should have been like a People's. This is just me talking about my butt, so don't listen to me, guys. There should have been a People's Choice Award, 1,000 sat People's Choice Award.
That's kind of what the Zaprank one was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
The Zaprank measures things that aren't intended to be measured.
I guess everybody liked the Billy the Kid one, or Siggy, and looks like Siggy and Scoresby like Billy the Kid. Supposed.
They all read all the stories and they decided this was the one that I think met the details of the prompt best and that they liked the most. Yes.
Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. I think my favorite one was Real Bitcoin Doggy's post. I think that was freaking awesome. He really kept it. He really kept it professional. I don't know if you saw any of his posts. Let me see if I can go to it. Where was it at? He kept it professional with all his posts. Where is it at? Let me go here this week. I think he talked about his.
He also references himself in the third person, which you guys share that in common.
Where is it at? Yeah, right here. He said he goes 9th place acceptance speech. He said he goes Real Bitcoin Dog wins top 10. Talent show shake up Real Bitcoin Dog. Yeah, he goes honored. He goes, I'm honored to be in this group. He's basically said that he had to do a lot of polling to get up there. He wants to know if you actually read his. Did you read his thing? Did you read his? He wants to know.
I read a handful of stories.
Did you read his story though?
I did not read his story.
Are you going to read his story now that he placed number 9 though? Because like it's a big deal, Keyan. Like he's number 9.
I'm not sure that obligates me to read the story. It's when I see people talking. It's like when you talk in third person, I like zone out. I don't hear a word. I don't hear a word you say. It's like this guy is on one. Something's going on. I don't. He's
Real Bitcoin Dog. I mean, you got to do the same thing you did last week. I'm just saying. Keyan is not going to read your story. He just
my plan is to go through and read.
I mean,
most
dude,
of them,
he talks about Stacker.News the whole way through.
That's even worse.
Dude, it's actually a really good story. It could be made into a movie.
I don't want to read a story about Stacker.News.
It could be made into a movie. Literally could be made into a movie. I wouldn't be surprised if Real Bitcoin Doggy gets optioned for this story.
Wow.
But Netflix might pick this up. That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe you're telling. I think you're being silly.
It's all silly. It's all silly. Anyway, I thought this was great. He even tried to get.
He's got abs now.
He even tried to get Pleb Poet to read it. Apparently, she did.
Yeah, talking to Pleb Poet, she was upset. She thought Real Bitcoin
really?
was cheating a little bit.
Why?
Well, because he like went on to Twitter and he's like, comment on my.
Oh wow!
Comment on my post, I'll zap you. So he was like, doing like fake engagement and stuff.
I mean. Sounds like he needs to do that for you.
It's like excluded. It was not part of the rules that you couldn't do that.
Shoot. Anyways, really good stuff. I think it's fantastic that Billy Kid won. It's fantastic that Pleb Poet got second and third, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Fantastic that she won. All the other winners, Real Bitcoin Dog number 9, might get option as a Netflix story. You never know. And just Keyan is the only one that hasn't read it.
Definitely won't. I think most people probably haven't read it. I'm not even sure you read it.
No, I did read it. It's really good. Even Gray Ruby read it. He's in the story.
Well, Gray Ruby and Real Bitcoin Dog, they're almost like undisciplined in Gray Ruby. They're pretty
great.
Thick as thieves.
Anyway, we're gonna jump into Pleb Poet Zine, number 25. Keyan, did you check this out?
Yeah. So we have the zine now. It has a yellow cover and white pages.
Looks really good.
Yeah. And there's a game in here.
There's a game?
Yeah.
Like a crossword puzzle game?
It's like, yeah, it's a crossword puzzle.
Cool.
It's like a find a word game this week. We have the results or the answers for the crossword puzzle the week
From the
before.
week before. Cool stuff.
Yeah. But
Simple Stacker's top post there.
yeah, it's really coming together, I think. I think
It looks more official now with the classifieds. Look at that.
yeah,
Yo, Packy logo.
classified on the back.
Got a rest in peace,
Website
Charlie
is a
Kirk
lot
there.
bigger. Wow.
Well, we took 2 squares. Hey, I'm supporting y'all's classified section.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Agoria's supporting you too.
We have 2 Charlie Kirk messages. Someone said smile more. I don't know.
Yeah, look
Is he
at that.
talking to you?
Probably
Maybe.
EK. Probably EK said smile more.
Oh,
Look
you
at all
think
these
so?
supporters
Oh,
of the
yeah, something
zine.
EK would
Look
say.
at all these supporters of the zine. Look at that. Stacker.News territory supporting you. Yeah, that's cool.
All right,
man.
your creative writing. Go on Agora.
Stack Sats, Simple Stacker said stay humble with Stack Sats. Block height.
Sell some stuff on Agora.
We got Startup Day promoting there. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I like the classifieds thing. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Get your copy. If you want to read the web version, it's all here in the GitHub. The GitHub. If it loads, it'll load.
It's a pretty big one. It's like
Yeah.
18 megabytes.
Cool. Looks like we got some, where is it at? We got some fountain boosts this week. Got Blockchain Books said, oh, actually, we forgot to do Cowboys. Let's do Cowboys first, then we'll jump into that. Cowboys, baby. Where's Cowboys top? Cowboys of the week, getting on up. This is, we got Siggy 47 with the #1 Cowboy. He's going, Kia, 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 Kia. See, he's doing that right now. Kia,
No, I don't see it.
Kia,
He's not doing it.
Kia,
You're doing it.
Kia. Top Cowboy. Then we got Coop. Undisciplined. Blockchain Book. Gray Ruby. Coins Reporter. All the top stackers, right out the top 5. Coins Reporter, Public Enemy. #8, Hiding. Wait, that wasn't Hiding last week, was it? I don't think it was.
I think it was. I think there's always been someone just kind of high up there that hides.
Optimism's climbing. #12. Scorby's climbing. #14, Stacker and Hiding.
Yeah, GMD's up there.
OT. Where's that QT? OT. Carter climbing. Sooks. He was 21 last week, right? Now he's 20. Real Bitcoin Doggy going up. Paul on his way. Paul on his way to #1. Catford, #24. Got EK 26. Yeah, look at that. Any of these stick out to you, Keyan?
I mean, it looks like there's not been a whole lot of movement, but I can see some of them climbing up. Surprised Plepo, it's in position 50. It's usually all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
We got Moneyball in there, Jimmy Song, Max, Signal 312, Philippe.
You got Shock, #70.
Justin Shocknat. Nifty Nay 9.
9? She has 9 accounts?
That's what I thought when she posted with it. She was like, no, I lost my Twitter login. I don't know. Or it doesn't work or something. I don't know. I have to check
Got
that.
the charlatan. Who's the charlatan? That's new, right?
I don't know.
Phoenix. Oh, there's Oscar.
Hey, Oscar.
Litecoin.
Fiat bad.
Oh, there I am, 96.
Oh, cool.
End of the mic. Dead Beef. And who's the last one? Anon 89. There you go. That rounds out all the top Cowboys, baby. That's #1. That's the #1. What do you call it? In how do you say it? It's the #1 segment.
#1 segment in all of Bitcoin, actually. Probably all of segments
Probably.
as well.
Probably.
You include segments from other places like arts
Pretty
and
much.
crafts or
We got the
schools.
zaps from last week. Blockchain Book said zap. He also said, I agree, Car. Stop using Telegram for support. Shooting from the hip, Boog. That's all I do.
Oh.
Undisciplined said, Coop's got Riz. There you go. Coop, you got Riz.
I don't know. I think I'm still
He's only got Riz
still
on,
unbalanced.
he's only got Riz on this podcast. Undisciplined.
Yeah, it's true.
You get him alone, he has no Riz.
Yeah. No, I don't have.
You should have saw him in front of Nick Carter. He had no Riz.
What are you talking about? Nick like he
Remember
touched
when
my jewelry.
he was trying to court you. That was weird. That was
That's
weird.
because of my Riz, dude.
No, he saw that you were super tiz, And then
he's
he
just
reached out.
into, like,
He was trying to.
sapiosexual.
He was like, he was trying to. He was like trying to like. He's probably a Tiz Whisperer, actually.
He might be a
He
Tiz
might be
Whisperer.
a Tiz
That
Whisperer.
might
Right?
be
Oh, yeah.
that might explain our mutual attraction.
Yeah, he probably was trying to whisper into your Tiz.
Oh, he did, like, get real
He was
close to
trying,
my ear.
he was trying to do this.
Yeah, that must be how it works.
Anyways, then we got YouTube comments. Stay in the drive-through lane. That's what Fake said about the Taco Bell thing.
That was your top YouTube comment pick?
Apparently that's what
Fake
we got.
just keeps it up. I'm surprised every time I go through the YouTube notifications.
He just likes talking about staying in lanes.
By the way, can you see my YouTube watch history when I'm on the Stacker.News live account?
I don't know. I use it too sometimes to watch stuff.
I just wonder if we can see each other's YouTube history. I watch like car videos or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I never looked through the history.
Or just weird videos. Like I'll find like a how-to on something weird, and I'll be
I
like,
never
man, I'm
looked
on
through
the wrong account.
I never looked through the history.
Okay, well,
Now I'm gonna go look through the history.
yeah, I just wonder. I'm just wondering if we could see each other's history.
I never looked through it, to be honest, but I'm gonna go look through it.
I
now.
cleared it the other day. Just
that's good.
because I was like, wait,
Car I don't really.
Car might know that I'm looking at harmoniums right now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We got some comments in the. Oh, here. Okay, it looks like Optimism's had. Coop, I ran a donation address off an impo for 3 years back when BIP32 was new, and I never had a gap past 60 without reuse. So I 1 out of most 60 people sent me sets. What is he saying there?
Oh. Okay. So we never had a gap bigger than 60.
So what does that mean in English?
He's saying that most of these, if you're generating bigger gaps than that, you probably have a bug, basically. There's no reason to discard that many unpaid addresses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one, Optimism. Things take care of itself. Thank you. That's the long view. I mean, I really do think sometimes you just got to let things play out, dude.
Yeah.
I think you really do. Most of the time these days, as I get older, I just let things go like this. It just goes like this.
Yeah, the hands grip each other as you go forward.
Sometimes in your favor too.
Yeah, he said something interesting where it's like in his own wallet software, he basically recorded where the last paid or the last invoice generation was, so that he didn't, within that his own software system, he didn't have the gap limit problem.
Yeah,
because even if he generated large gaps, he still knew that he had to go where his last checkpoint was. But it's really hard if he imports that XPub into another wallet, it doesn't have that index in it. So maybe there should be. It'd be nice if we can create another BIP, create another BIP that when you export a wallet, it includes this index, the last unpaid invoice index.
And then he also said do re e. Is that how you say that? Do. It's French. Do. Is it
do re a?
Do re a?
Yeah, do re a.
Do re a.
Do re a. Do re a.
Do re.
Yeah.
Do re.
I don't know why everyone doesn't live in America, you know?
That's such an American thing to say. Dude, I was watching, speaking of, have you been watching the Amanda Knox thing on Hulu? Have you seen that? The Amanda Knox series?
I don't know. What
that's crazy.
Is that like a true crime thing?
No. So the Amanda Knox story was a big thing, or at least for us probably, because I don't know if you ever saw it. She was the exchange student that went to France, or was it? No, Italy, I think. No, Italy. And then she got convicted of the whole crime, and then they kept her
murdered her boyfriend or something.
No, like some other thing, and then she got convicted of it. Dude, so they made a Hulu thing,
a true crime series.
Yeah, it's really good. I was watching that.
I don't like true crime.
I was watching that this past week.
The last one I watched.
I don't like watching that stuff, but I felt like I had to watch that just because it was like right around the time when I was like coming up, and I remember hearing about that all over.
You came up.
No, but you know what I mean? Like it was like right around the time growing up where I was just like, all you heard about was Amanda Knox and this all kind of like that. So I was like, I feel like I know this person, even though I don't know this person.
The last true crime I watched was Jinx. I really liked that, but
yeah,
I don't know. Everything else is like it's too much. I don't like, you're so focused on the negative.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
shit.
too violent. Like I had to close my eyes on some of the violent stuff. I was just like, I can't watch the violent stuff. I just closed my eyes. The other thing was really cool. They have a new Alien series.
Wait.
They have a new Alien.
Oh,
series.
they had an exhibit for South by Southwest here for it.
Dude, the Alien series, the first episode sucks, but as it gets better, like it gets actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good. It's only like 6 episodes long.
Okay.
It's actually really
I
good.
didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to run out of Star Trek episodes at some point.
That one's good. So the best thing I've seen recently though is they made a Predator movie, but it's like an anime or like a cartoon thing. Dude, it's so good. Like if you can get over the fact that it's a cartoon and watch it, it's so freaking
Is it
good.
done in an anime style where it's like
Yeah, it's
hyper-realistic?
like a realistic version of it, but I don't want to give anything away because like if I give anything away, it'll like ruin everything for you. You're better just watching this like cartoon of Predator and not knowing anything. That's the best I could do for you. Because if you watch it or watch a trailer, you're gonna ruin it. Because I didn't know anything. I just knew Predator, cartoon, watch it. And I did. And I was just I was just like, as I was watching, I was like, whoa, did not see that coming. And then it was like, whoa. And then at the end, I was like, oh, snap. It's like, I'm here. Anyways, Stackers.
I have too much tiz for animation.
Yeah, me too. But
Most of the time.
dude, it was Stackers. If you're listening to this, watch the Predator thing. I was gonna do a review on it, but I feel like that would just give up too much. Anyways,
Well, you let them know.
that's all the posts this week. Make sure to send your on-chain addresses. Make sure let's take the on-chain back. Let's really
Don't
do this.
suffer the gap limit problem.
Don't suffer the gap limit
Save the
problem.
last invoice index.
Be divisive. What else did we learn this week? Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, don't let AI take your art from you.
And stay in school. I think that's what we learned. I think that's everything.
Yeah. Don't let AI take your seat. And